What's up, YouTube? I guess the driver's side seat's gonna be the next project on the list. First thing I did was kind of made this harness right here just so I can adjust the seat back and forth off this Milwaukee battery. So I can set it up just right in the truck. So that'll move forward and back and move it up and down too. So I can sit in the truck and kind of adjust it and get it about where I want it, make sure I got plenty of room to move it backwards and forwards when it's in the truck. So I'm gonna toss the seat in the truck and kind of start playing with it a little bit. So right now I got some scrap chunks of 2x600, kind of keep it level with the floor and raise it up just a little bit on these seat rails. If I don't do that, it's gonna be sitting on these brackets and be all wonky, but I think it looks like it's fairly level. But so now that I got this battery on here, I can hook it up and I'll be able to move it back and forth in place. So I got it on these right here, so I should have plenty of movement, honestly. I mean, way more than I need. Yeah, also way more than I need. I got plenty of space back there. Let's go like that. Yeah, I think that's plenty right there, honestly. I don't know what that does, but so yeah. Now I got that in place, and I know I got plenty of room everywhere. I'm gonna measure it, make sure it's all square, and then I'm gonna have to make some brackets off of here. This is a factory Mustang seat bracket right here. I have to make some kind of bracket off of here, and then something off the back of here. So I have some pretty, like, some 1/4 inch thick angle iron. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. Not sure if it'll be the best looking, but honestly, I'm gonna weld it on there and I'll end up rhino lining or raptor lining some kind of bed line on the floor probably. It'll all be black and blend in, and plus I plan on eventually putting carpet in here, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. And I've seen more than anybody, so if I can live with it, I think it'll be just fine. I think that seat goes way up. Better than I thought it did. Yeah. I'm gonna jump in and play with it a little bit and just see what it feels like, but I think this right there should be just fine. Too much crap in here. That'd be a good spot for it. You can do it here, like knocking off the blocks. Oh. So like I said, I'm just gonna do some measuring, which is in a pretty good spot, and start measuring, or maybe even build some templates out of cardboard. We'll see. So I was looking at this, trying to figure out the best position for it. And look at this right here, it's pretty much flat. I think it used to sit on the floor. The whole thing sit on the floor of the Mustang. So I kind of have it a little more, the front side of it, picking it up and kind of tilting it back. So I got plenty of adjustment here, so I don't have to worry about it being wonky. But I got the angle finder right here, and it's pretty close to the same thing as the center console is in the lid, so So it's close enough. I don't think it'll be off enough to really notice it's off. So I think I'm just gonna get some of this cardboard right here. These Scar speakers, the cardboard was about the best thing out of the whole thing because these speakers are garbage. But I can get this right here, cut it up, and make some templates for these brackets right here. It shouldn't be very hard to make those brackets. I mean, like I said, you got a piece of angle. I saw some Fat Fender Garage brackets that it's kind of a piece of angle. It's a lot nicer than just a piece of angle, but it goes right here and it goes all the way across here and all the way across to there. I might attempt to do something like that. I'm still not sure about that, honestly. Maybe this piece of angle I have. See what it looks like. Maybe the easiest way to do it is put that piece of angle in there, honestly. It's 3x3 angle iron, 1/4 inch thick, I believe, which is probably overkill, honestly, but there. Close to 20 inches. 41 inches of it. Here. This one piece of angle iron, I got enough to do the whole thing. Still not sure if I should do this side, just the angle iron kind of, and then kind of cap this side off. Because I'm able to see the front side of it. I could just use a simple bracket, kind of like I did on the center console, the jump seat. I think I'll just save a little material too. It'll look too blocky right here if I have a piece of angle iron going all the way across here. So I'll probably just use right here, a short section, this right here, and kind of contour it to the bottom of the cab right here. And I'm not gonna have just straight cuts on the ends of it. I'll have it contoured to this side, and then contoured right here a little bit where it won't look, like I said, it's blocky. I think it'll look a lot better that way. I'll have to do a little mock up this right here and just see what it looks like. Cut some pieces out, check it out. Got some cardboard cut out, so hopefully it's make a little more sense now what I'm talking about. Make like a pedestal right here. It kind of contours the floor, and kind of a faceplate right here. And I'll either have a hole drill right here with a nut weld on the back side, or a stud right there. I'm not really sure what would be the best way. Kind of nice to have a stud. I could just drop it down on the seat, but either way, I mean, not the same way either way, I guess, really. But and I can pull this template off right here and cut in some angle iron. Started with a 3x3 section and then slowly trimmed it down where to fit the shape of the floor. So I should be able to just lay that on the angle iron and get a pretty good idea what I'm gonna do. Then just got a piece of flat plate right here just to cover that hole up. That should be it for that mount right there. I got my angle. That's that template I made for the bottom of the driver's seat. I just traced it over to here, but this side I traced even with it, and this side I went about a 1/4 inch over. Just gotta think about the thickness this is gonna take up compared to how thin that cardboard is. I'm gonna cut that out and then do some test fitting. Here we go. This is about 3 hours of progress, honestly. I got spots cleaned up where I'm gonna be welding. Got the pack tab cut out. I still have to get some hardware for these. I'll wait till I go to town to do that, but I got that one pretty much built. We got decent gaps on it. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of a gap to jump across, but should be fine. I got this piece right here cut out. It's gonna be the cover this section right here. And I'm gonna wait till I can get that at least tacked in before I start messing with that to make sure it's the right size and everything. I got that. It was at 90, it won't stay in place. Let me holding it, but that's about where it's gonna be. I'll end up drilling a hole right here and putting a nut on the other side probably is what I'm planning on doing. But yeah, that's the progress so far. So I got the piece for the driver's side seat. And as far as the size goes, I think it'll fit on the passenger side pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I got tape on here. You can put some masking tape or something like that. Usually masking tape works the best. Put it on there, score it like that with anything hard really. I mean, file is just a plastic razor blade I had in my toolbox. Then you peel that tape off, and it'll be pretty much an exact copy of what you just made as far as like dimensions and stuff. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna score this, get the tape, and then when I can get this taper here, I can flip it over so the sticky side's up on this piece of metal, and that should be pretty much the inverse of that bracket, of this bracket right here, but should match the contours of the passenger side pretty good. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Cut it out. There's that. This works a lot better on sharp edges. You round your corners, it makes it a little bit harder to do. But you get a pretty good idea of what it's gonna be like. I mean, you can go ahead and like, this is straight edge, put a dot right there where that's supposed to stop, where they would meet if something, if the corner rips off or something. Now I'm gonna try to transfer this to this angle iron and see how it works. Usually the sticky side's up, so I had to put the tape on there to make it stay. Like when you're tracing out whatever you're trying to copy, so there's a blue line right here, you can barely see it, but I put a blue line right there along that whole ridge so I can line that up with the edge on the angle iron. And I got it in place, got it taped down, so I can just copy this pattern right here. And I should be able to take the cutoff wheel, cut it out, and it should fit a lot better than the one already made did originally. All right. So there's a rough outline. You can see I lay this right here on top of it. It was the exact opposite of the piece right here. So the inverse of it. So I can cut where the blue lines are, and it'll be just like this, but for the passenger side. So that's the next step. I'm not gonna say this is a good idea necessarily, but when you're cutting a curve on a grinder, you can kind of play it a little bit and just ease into it. You don't want to jam it in there because it's gonna bind up, but you just ease into it real slow and follow that curve, it'll eventually cut through. Let's see how that technique worked. That sucker's still hot. I just cut it. I haven't even trimmed it up yet, so hopefully it fits in there good, but we will find out. Let's see. Yeah, that sucker's hot. I don't say it's perfect, but it's definitely weldable. It's a lot better, especially this bottom edge is way better because I straightened it up after copying it. So the other one took way longer than it should have. So I'm pretty happy about this. Which the other back bracket I have to build a little bit differently because it's gonna be a little bit higher, I think, just because this seat's not as adjustable as the driver's side. Yeah, that ought to work pretty good. I guess the next thing is gonna be I gotta clean up, sand all the paint down on this. I'll probably go ahead and do it on all four corners like I did the last one. So I got that one right there set at 90 degrees. That's staying pretty good. That one back there, I got 4 pieces of 1/4 inch stacked up. So the idea is I'm gonna get this piece of scrap right here. So you got, this is about almost 3/4 inches thick, cut it down to 3/4. Then put a piece of 1/4 inch on top. And that should be a mount right there that's about 1 inch tall. So that's the plan. I got went to Edwards earlier, I got the hardware. So I think this is 1/2 by 13, I think. This is a 1/2 by 13, 1.5 inch bolt. The plan is I'm gonna have to drill this out a little bigger, but drill this out and I can cut this head off. Then so I'm gonna weld this flat to the floor on the bottom side. So I'm gonna cut this a little bit bigger. And I recess this down in there, maybe 1/8 inch or something like that, so I can get a real good weld across the whole thing. And that stud right there, that'll be done. That'll be for the back of driver's seat. So I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out real quick, which won't take but a second. I gotta get the drill over here, so as long as it doesn't bind up and about rip my arm off. God. Knew he was gonna do that stupidity. Either way, holes drilled. That edge up right there. That 1/2 inch drill bit likes to walk, bounce around when it first starts. Alright, so I got that hole right there. Look at one there. Now I can cut that head of that bolt off. Go in there and weld it. There's that bad boy. Add to it. Alrighty. So the bottom, that's the top. 1,000 degrees. Alright. Find my square in this deadgum mess. I'm not sure where my deadgum square went. I'm sure it's somewhere in this mess, but I think the way to do it's going to be put a nut on there, put the nut in the vise. And so the plan I'm having is to set the depth on this. I'm just going to run this nut up most of the way. Set that nut inside of there. And just balance this on top because I can't find my square. So run that up where I want it. I would think that ought to be enough right there. Fill that whole thing in with weld. It ought to be strong enough to hold that one corner of the seat. There we go, get that nut in there. That's going to be square or not, though, that's not a problem. What I mean, won't be the end of the world if it isn't square, but that looks good enough to me. It's about 2 a.m. I don't care quite as much as I should, probably. Alright, plug this welder in. It's got a welder cranked all the way up, too. See what she'll do. Ooh. Hot. Oh yeah. That ain't going nowhere. I guarantee you. I'll clean that off so I can have it perfectly flush to the bottom of the floor. Wish I welded the wrong side though. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but I was gonna hide the ugly side. But I'm too stupid to do that, so ugly side up. Fantastic. That's what I wanted. It'd be alright though. There we go. Got the bracket for the driver's side seat. Back bracket welded up. Put the welder on there on the floor, just like I did the center console. And it should be good. So I still have to put this one in there. What is this? It's the driver's side. I have to put this in there still. I figure we need to drill a hole in it too. Guess I can go and do that right now, I guess. I'm trying to avoid grinding just because it's 2:30 in the morning, something like that. I'll do the loud stuff tomorrow, do the quiet stuff tonight. I'm gonna go there and mark that real quick, and then I'll drill the hole. Went over there and got that right there marked for the other hole. And I'm going to drill it out. And I'm just going to weld one of these nuts on the back side of it. What the plan is, so I can just drop a bolt in from the top. Should be pretty easy. I got the shot. There we go. And she didn't grab. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Clean this other side up a little bit. I'll go clean this side up too. Go ahead and deburr that edge. Alright. So. The bolt. Got an idea where that nut's gonna be. I'm probably just do some more cleaning up. Just galvanize. Yep. All right. I'll mark where that nut is so I can clean up around it. Got the bottom side cleaned off. All the galvanization cleaned off of it. Put this on. Got the nut cleaned off. Most of the dye off of it. I don't think it probably didn't matter honestly, but cleaner it is, the better to weld, I reckon. Alright. There's that. Get that welded on. I can just put a bolt from the top. Not have to worry about it. Stuck right there, well, hot. You're gonna have a long sleeve shirt on, that's for sure. So we got, this is the back bracket for the driver's seat. And this is for the, that's gonna be for the back of the driver's side seat. Door side, I guess you'd call it. That's all welded up. So, I guess the best way to do it would be bolt the seat down. I can bolt to the seat, tack it in place, but that'll probably be tomorrow. So I found out on that last clip, but see right here, I got the back bracket done right there. Got the other back bracket done right here for the, these are both for the driver's side seat. So, like I said, I got a nut weld on the bottom right there, so it's gonna go like this right here against the back of the cab pretty much. And the seat's gonna sit on top of here, both of there. So we weld to the floor, drop the seat on top of that, locate it, and then just throw a nut on the top of that. And that's about it for tonight. It's about 3 a.m. I think I'm gonna go in the house. I guess I should mention I finally got a mic, so hopefully the audio is a little bit clear. It's some a cheap one off of Amazon. I watched some videos back and it seems like it's better quality, especially from a distance, but we'll see how it sounds and if it gets hit with metal and everything else I'm working with. So this is the driver's front bracket door side. The day I was working on it, it was raining so hard that the audio would have been absolute garbage, so I just took some pictures and tried to work through it. So this is all three brackets tacked in. It's as far as I got the other day when I could work on it. And I got the seat about where it's supposed to be, so at this point the next thing I need to do is make the front right bracket. Not a lot of progress has been made, honestly. I got that front simple bracket kind of tacked in, with the rest of the brackets tacked in. I ended up having to cut them off, cut the tacks off, because there wasn't enough gap between here. You can kind of see down in there. That orange is a foam. It was hitting the side of the jump seat, but with all that rearranged, and I got these brackets tacked in, back brackets tacked in. I got that tacked back in too, so we'll pull the seat out and fully weld these next. Little update here. I got the back bracket built. I haven't tacked in or anything yet. I gotta add some of this bracket I was building right here. That front bracket right there, I got it drawn up in cardboard, just got to cut it out. That's a little bit of progress. And it's about 30 degrees outside. I'm finna call it a night. I got it. I made sure I had plenty of gap right here this time. And I got it kind of close to the same angle as the jump seat. Just lean back just a little more, so it'll be a little more comfortable probably, but I hope to make some more progress on it in the morning. This is the passenger front door side bracket. I didn't get any videos of them cutting it out or anything. I just got a couple pictures. So here we are, another couple hours of progress. I had already built this bracket right here, but to get the seat to sit where I want it to, I had to get and add some of this right here. I could have had space on the top, but that looked halfway done and not thought out. So I got a piece of 3-inch angle, added about, I think it's an inch to it, so it would sit about the right level. And then I got the front bracket built, the nut weld on already. So maybe tomorrow I can get this bad boy fitted up, the hole drilled in it and stuff, and get that mounted up. And then the front bracket, it'd be easy to build. It'll just be a small tab on the front right there. That won't be hard at all. Just like the other side, just a vertical tab with a little gusset on it. But that's what we got right now. Another small update. Got that thing cleaned up pretty good. Got it tacked in, which front mount was done in the last section. The back mount, I got it kind of tacked in, just one little spot. And I got template made for the front bracket right here. So that bracket, I'll cut it out, put it right over there. And then the passenger side seat will be mounted. So this project has taken about a week longer than I thought it would, because I hadn't really had a whole lot of time, but it'd be like that. So, and honestly, I had to stack some washers right there. I don't really like it, but this part right here, this side right here, it goes down a little ways, kind of slopes down. So all I got to do is either cut that off, put some washers right there, and I think the washers will keep everything happy. I don't want that track getting in a bind and not be able to slide or anything. So that's what we got so far. That's the last bracket pretty much I have to make. Got the nut wheel on the back right there. So I will have to add some right there under that, but I mean, that'll just be a straight piece. I'll probably get everything tacked in. I just cut a piece of scrap off, kind of like that piece right there. Shoot some of that right there. Cut a little piece off and supplement that, but everything else is already tacked in. So I'll put that over there, bolted in, check my angles and everything, and see what she looks like. Got the area partially cleaned up, got the metal pretty shiny. So I'm gonna get that tacked in real quick and pull the seat back out. Got that bad boy tacked in. Burn a hole in the floor. Fantastic. But got that thing tacked in. All the mounts are tacked in now. So I'm gonna pull the seat out and get ready to fully weld everything. Finally got everything tacked in and pull the seats out about 2 o'clock this morning. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I gotta clean up these little brackets right here, braces and stuff. Then I can fully weld it in after that.
Passenger side's all welded up. Gonna move to the driver's side. Probably gonna do a time lapse. My phone memory is just about full. So between trying to weld 1/4-inch plate sheet metal and the terrible gaps I had in some of these pieces, this right here whooped me. I ain't gonna lie. Had to go over some spots once or twice, and then that one side had a real big gap on it. I had to go over it a few times just to make sure everything was solid. But I finally got it all done, and so glad to be done with it. Everything's fully welded. Besides some little trim pieces that cover that. I ain't that worried about that right now, but that was a gap right there, for sure. Toss these seats in and the center console, bolt everything up, and make sure it all jives good together. Well, I got all the seats mounted in, bolted down, sitting right, so pretty happy with it. They're pretty even. I think it looks pretty good. It'd be a lot better than that bench seat I had in here for sure. So if y'all watch this chopped up video and y'all watch this far, I sure appreciate it. This is like 3 weeks of videos from, working out 30 minutes here, an hour there, or whatever, jumping around. It's been kind of a mess, but I'm glad to finally have it done, and glad to finally have some adjustability in the seats. This thing will move around a lot. But y'all please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.